There's an often overlooked feature on the Instacart app that I think you might be missing out on. I've been trying it out for the past few months, and I want to share with you my experiences and how could it help you. I'm Brian, Instacart Bulldog, back with more tips for bigger tips and better ratings. Let's hit it. So I sit down at the computer to do my editing, and a whole segment is missing that I did outside. Anyway, so I'll summarize for you real quick. So I was off today, Tuesday. I was also off yesterday, Monday. Involuntarily, I wanted to work, but I had a pretty big mishap with my car. No, car's fine. It's been in the shop, but yeah, it was a big smoky mess. A radiator hose split open just as I was sitting at a traffic light on a very busy road. So I'm sitting at this traffic light and I smell something burning. Not unusual. I smell exhaust from other vehicles all the time, so I just put the air conditioning on recirculate. And then I look over at the guy next to me, and then he's looking at me with his eyes getting big, and I look up, and there it is, the smoke coming out from under the hood. And that was my oh shit moment. I gotta move and get over out of the way. So I do, and it's funny because going back looking at the dash cam video, you could see the big puddle of coolant in the middle of the lane, and then you can also see the trail coming in behind me as I'm getting off of Highway 98, and it was just a mess. Here, I'll show you some footage of that. I stop, I open the hood, and there is just stuff everywhere in the engine compartment. Everything was soaked real good. And then there was a big puddle underneath the front of the car, too. So I gotta tell you, it was scary, and it wasn't until I went back to look at the video that I saw the puddle of coolant that was in the middle of the traffic lane while I was sitting at that traffic light. But, I didn't see that from where I was sitting. All I saw was a bunch of smoke, and I knew I had to get off of the road as quickly as I could and wonder what's going to happen next. So I ended up getting towed back to Pensacola, and that's a whole nother story. That will be another topic very soon about roadside assistance and my experiences. So stay tuned for that so you can make sure that you have the right protection for that. So getting on to this video topic, I wanted to show you this feature in the app. Let's start there in the app and pulling that best times to shop so you know where it is. So to find this feature, go down to the lower right-hand corner, click on the account icons, and then right down near the bottom here where you see best times to shop, tap on that. That pulls up the zone that you are in. And what it'll do is it'll show you the next 7 days. At the top, you see the bar graph up there. And then down below that is what time should I shop? And so you can see what the projected times are. And that's on Wednesday. Here's Thursday, Friday, on into Saturday, and then Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. I usually don't put too much faith into that far out, but I do look ahead into Thursday and Friday and even Saturday. And, Sunday, that looks pretty consistent. That's not unusual to see something like that. Now, you can also change zones. So tap change zones, And you can see there's many zones around here. Let's check out the first one. Okay, so you can see there, what that looks like. Then you change zone again, and you check out that one. And you can change back to Pensacola. You can change to Walton and Bay County and start taking a look ahead there. You can change again to Pace, Baghdad, which is actually just the next county over from me. That's not far from my house, actually, probably about a 15-minute drive. And then you have this zone as well. So, there's options. So now with those zones, there's something else you need to know, and it does not show you in those zones, and that is what stores are in those zones, or even what communities are in those zones. This is something that you need to know by being there and opening that best times to shop while you're in that area, so you can see what zone you're in, because what you think might be that zone really is not. One other frustrating thing about being in a zone is how wide of an area it can cover as well. Give you an example in Pensacola. It can cover Perdido Key to Gulf Breeze, up to Cantonment, to Beulah, over towards University of West Florida, down to the East Hill area, 9th Avenue. It covers a very broad area. And I don't go to some of those far outreaching areas, so really it's kind of tough. So with Instacart's algorithm only showing you batches within a mile of the store to those shoppers first, that can be really tough, because then it becomes, okay, well, where do I position myself? So you kind of have to know your market a little bit better to try to guess, gee, maybe I won't be getting so many orders down here in Perdido Key and Gulf Breeze because the tourist season is almost over and there's just not enough locals doing those orders to keep me sustained, so I'm going to go further inland. And you also may know that certain times of day you may do better on one part of town than another. You may do better in the mornings in this store, and you might do better late in the day at this store, because it just, people come home from work, they don't want to go shopping, so they will order because they live in one of these bedroom communities of wherever it is, maybe a big employer around. So on Saturday, for the purposes of this video, I took a huge risk and I went to the Freeport zone. I'd never been there before. I've had a long week. I had a very frustrating Friday. I needed to pull something out of my hat for Saturday, and I saw the projections in Freeport were off the charts. They were very, very strong, as you can see here. Well, unfortunately, it wasn't. I got to the store, I sat in the parking lot for over an hour waiting for a decent batch. I only saw 2 batches in that time. One was a shop-only order for $8, which I do not do, and there was another one for $15 for 38 items, and again, something that I just don't do. So after sitting there for a long time, I said, that's it. I'm going to go to another zone where I know that things will pick up around 10 o'clock in the morning. And sure enough, on the way, I picked up a good paying batch from a customer that I had serviced several times this summer, and I was really excited about it. And then my automotive disaster happened. So I ended up making nothing on Saturday because I had to get towed back to Pensacola. Car's in the shop. I don't do work in my other vehicles because they're not covered under my commercial policy. And again, I would highly recommend that you watch my insurance videos. I have one for Florida and I have one for everybody outside of Florida, because it's really important that you understand how your insurance covers you in your gig work. And today is Tuesday, a day that I don't work anyway. That's fine. I went for a 28-mile long bike ride. I went to my chiropractor, then went for a big ride afterwards, and just had a great day in the 72-degree weather, not a cloud in the sky, just soaking in all that Florida sunshine. So I do hope that you use that best times to shop to help you strategize for your day, maybe even the next day, and give it a try and see if it works for you. And if you found this video useful, I hope you give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss more tips for bigger tips and better ratings. I'm Brian, Instacart Bulldog. Until next time, go get 'em!